You and Bryce are already secretly engaged. Smell like self-tanner all the time. Questions about being Catholic, and I get a lot of questions about like, oh, you're really open about sex life. I am on birth control. Sorority girl during college, you give the vibes. Your boyfriend hates to be in your content. He never looks happy. You caught me. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. Funny you're here. It's funny you clicked on this video because you know that I'm gonna be reading your guys' assumptions about me, and they're juicy. I have to say they're juicy. There's a lot of tea, and I'm gonna answer them. But I'm also gonna show you how I get my everyday glam because I do the same makeup like literally every day. It's very hard for me to switch out my products. I use a lot of the same stuff, and you guys routinely see this in my TikToks, but today we're going in depth. And I feel like it looks really good, very natural, good for every day, not like a full beat, but a good everyday glam. While we get into the juicy assumptions that you guys have about me, I asked you guys on Instagram, and I've also kind of done some TikTok research. I've filmed this before online, so I grabbed some from there too. And let's get into it. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And if you guys wanna see how I got this look, all my favorite products, and some of your guys' assumption and the tea about me, then keep watching. This is a good one to start out on. You and Bryce are already secretly engaged. I'm glad you asked. No, we're not secretly engaged. We're not. I promise. Before I get into this, we're gonna start with primer. This is a brand new bottle. This is the Refi Face Sculpt. It's a good product, but I honestly like using it because the applicator's fun. Bryce and I are not secretly engaged. You guys will be the first to know when we are. It'd be kind of fun though if I kept it a secret, but I can't keep any secrets. I really can't. I can only keep a secret for like maybe a couple of days, but you guys are gonna be the first to know. It hasn't happened yet. I feel like I'm gonna know when it's happening, so it's not, I don't really think it's gonna be that much of a surprise, but it's also not a secret from you guys. And if it was, I would be dropping hints. Like I would be dropping hints. On to the second step, which is I don't like foundation. I actually don't wear foundation, but I combine these two. Before I get into this, let's do another assumption. You're not friends with most of the people you used to hang out with in NYC anymore. That's actually another really good question. These are both Charlotte Tilbury products. This actually is a foundation stick, but it doesn't feel very heavy, and it feels honestly more of like a skin tint, so I don't mind wearing this. Sometimes just foundation is too heavy on my skin, and I don't like feeling overstimulated on my face. And then I just go in with a little bit of Flawless Filter on top. This is so not my shade, I'm aware. I'm getting a spray tan tonight, don't worry. While I obviously don't live in New York City anymore and I don't see my friends as much, I am still friends with most of the girls that I used to hang out with that you guys would see all of the time. I stay and lose contact with them. We always are like engaging with each other's posts. And I feel like we are all online so much that I feel like we all kind of know what's going on in each other's lives. Next step, bronzer. I use the dipstick. This is in shade 2.5 just to bronze up my skin. I'm by no means like a big makeup girly. I love makeup and I love doing mine, but I'm not a professional by any means. I put a generous amount on. While we blend this in, let's read another assumption, shall we? Some of these are really good and juicy, and people like fully put these with their full chest. Oh, here's another good one. That you smell like self-tanner all the time, and if you don't, how do you not help a girl out? That's a really good one because I do post about going to get spray tans like once a week. I never am told that I smell like self-tan, and I'm never told that I smell like spray tan unless it's Bryce when I come home from getting one. I don't know, I feel like you just have to do a good job at rinsing it off and using a really strong soap and body wash maybe, because I don't smell. I also feel like using a really potent fragrance. Like I have a couple of different ones that I like and they just stay on your skin. I've also been using Cycler, and Cycler has the body oil body lotion that I swear to God, it stays on my skin and in my pajamas and in my clothes. It just smells so good. So I feel like when you have something really strong like that, you never smell, you know what I mean? We're moving right along. I feel like I use a different combination of blushes, so I'll just kind of show you all of the ones that I use. Depends on the day. Most of the time I'm reaching for the Say Dewy blush. This is in the shade Chili. And then I also like the Too Faced blushes. This is in the shade At First Sight. Depends on what kind of pink you want. Today, I'm gonna go with the Say. Very pigmented, but there's no such thing as too much blush, in my opinion. While we let that sit, let's do another one. Not really an assumption, but are you on birth control? If so, which one I'm trying to pick. So I guess that's not an assumption because I have told people that I'm on birth control. With that being said, yes, I am on birth control, which kind of leads into being Catholic is a big part of who you are. I'm also Catholic. I think I get a lot of questions about being Catholic, and I get a lot of questions about like, oh, you're really open about sex life or birth control and you're Catholic, and that technically goes against the Bible. And here's what I'll say about that. Jesus loves me. I think that's just, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I, at the end of the day, have to be realistic about my life. I'm gonna marry the man that I'm with, but I am on birth control, and I originally went on birth control, if you must know, for my period in high school. And while I'm on the topic, Catholicism is a huge part of my life. I feel like I've kind of fallen out of it and back into it throughout high school and college and now in my like adult life. I was born and raised Catholic. I went to Catholic school, and I feel like I've done a good job, especially when I was in New York, of like actively looking out new churches while I was there. Now that I'm home, I have a church that I go to. I've gone there again since I think middle school. Bryce is also Catholic. Sometimes I'll go with him. Most of the time I go with my mom. I'm very spiritual. I feel like I often look for Jesus in like my day-to-day life. My faith is kind of private, and I feel like it's a journey for everybody. Now that we're done with blush, let's move on to brows. Brows is a very short step because I don't do anything to them except brush them. This is the Refi Brow Sculpt. Honestly, this is my favorite brow gel that I've used. I also like the NYX brow gel if you're looking for a little more cost-efficient option. You had bright blonde or maybe red hair growing up. I actually didn't. I had very dark brown hair. You can't really see in my hair, but it was like, it was darker than this. I have extensions now because my hair still doesn't grow. Eventually when I get my extensions out, I'm gonna have to go on a hair growth journey. I just have very fine, thin, soft hair, so naturally it just doesn't grow very fast. Sorority girl during college, you give the vibes. Oh God, how much time do you have? We're gonna move on to mascara while I answer this question. I use the Tarte tubing mascara. Any tubing mascara will do. It's just, I can't go back to regular now because it's just so easy to get off with tubing mascara. So I actually was a sorority girl for a short period of time in college. In high school, I was always looking for validation through maybe the popular girls or different cliques, and I never was in one. So I really wanted to be in a sorority to kind of like fill that void. And mind you, I went to college the year of COVID. So like everything was online. I did sorority rush and recruitment online through Zoom. And I loved it because I felt like I was being chosen. I was like, wow, I'm being chosen. Which is so funny looking back because it's really not that deep, but at the time I think I was filling a void. I ended up joining Alpha Chi Omega. I don't think that's a secret. And for a really long time it was fun. I liked it. I think I liked it more freshman year because I wasn't living in the house, and when you're a freshman you get in the sorority, it's all about you and all the attention's about you. I wasn't a huge partier, and my boyfriend was in a frat that we didn't pair with, so it really wasn't that fun for me. I don't know, you know how sororities are, and like I wanted to be with my boyfriend and party with him, but no one wanted to come with me because the frats didn't match. It was just so stupid. It was also very challenging for me to eat at the house. Obviously with my food allergies, I didn't expect the cook to like make a completely separate meal and separate food just for me to be able to eat. I felt like it was a clique inside of a clique, and I was paying all this money, my parents were paying all this money, and I ended up dropping. I always encourage everybody to go through sorority rush. I literally tell girls that follow me that are young, go through it, because everyone's experience is different. With that being said, I didn't love it, and I had so much fun after I dropped, lived alone, figured out my shit, was spending time with my boyfriend, met other friends, and I had the best time. Like, I think that there's this weird expectation that you're only gonna have fun in college if you're in Greek life, and that's just absolutely not the case. And I went to Indiana University, which I'm not sure if I've mentioned that, but I did. I still talk to some of those girls, no tea, no shade, but we'll just leave it at that. Now is my freckle pen, which this is gonna scare you when I start applying it because you're gonna think I'm doing too much, but just trust the process. Definitely the cool girl in high school. So funny you say that because I was not. At least I didn't think that, and I feel like the entire time as I was going through middle school and high school, I was trying to be. Didn't feel like I ever was, and I never was in a clique. I feel like my best friends now that I'm still best friends with from high school, I feel like I kind of floated around and I had like small little friend groups all over. I wasn't like in one big friend group. And I can fundamentally say I was nice to everybody, I was kind to everybody, and high school is high school, you know what I mean? I graduated high school a semester early too, which I used to mention, but that was in 2019. So I graduated in December of 2019, and then I went to a community college. I went to IUPUI in Indianapolis just for a semester to take a math class before my college, like at Indiana University, started. But that also ended because of COVID. So I finished all of that online. This is the Tarte Freckle Pen shade medium. Now, it's looking a little scary and intimidating. You let it sit for a second and then you literally just blend it in with your finger, tap it all the way in. You have to be a little aggressive. See? So pretty and natural. Again, my makeup routine is pretty quick. I'm not gonna lie. Like I zoom through it. Let's look for another spicy assumption here. Let's see. Okay, here's the next assumption that you guys put that always makes me giggle and makes Bryce giggle. That your boyfriend hates to be in your content. He never looks happy. You guys are right. Bryce and I are breaking up. He hates my content. He hates my job. You caught me. No, bro, he's just introverted. He's not used to having a camera in his face. I mean, he is now. No one's used to having a camera in your face. People really think that Bryce hates me. I promise he doesn't hate me. He loves my content. It pays for a lot of our stuff and our lifestyle, and we both get opportunities from it. Like, he loves my job. He's just a little more introverted, and I think he gets uncomfortable sometimes when there's a camera in his face, as most people would. He just doesn't sometimes know how to react, especially when I'm doing embarrassing shit in public. I think he's like, wow. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury powder just to touch up. I'm not a big fan of powder because I think it just creases and makes my face look dry. So I just kind of put it where I need and leave it at that. If I'm doing a full beat, I'll use the Laura Mercier powder and I will really get that in under my eyes. Back to Bryce hating me. He doesn't mind being in my content and he's just a big part of my life and he knows that, and I like showing you guys that because it's a huge part of my life. We've been together since high school. I'm very open and honest about my life and where I'm at, where's my head's at. I'm an open book and I talk a lot about that on my socials. Moving on to bronzer. This is the Say bronzer in the shade Amalfi. I think this is one of their new launches that I really like. Another one that I get is that my dad pays for all of my stuff. No, my dad actually does not pay for my stuff. He hasn't for a really long time. Obviously, sometimes he chips in and he's my dad, but like I pay my rent, I do my thing, I pay for all my stuff, I pay my bills, pay my car insurance, I pay everything, I really do. I had a great life growing up and I for sure was comfortable and I'm appreciative and blessed for that. And I feel like my dad specifically taught me, especially like my junior, senior year of college, like trying to like wean me off of his payroll so that it wasn't so much of a shock when I graduated college and was like on my own. And I moved to New York, did that all on my own. People still thought he paid my rent. He doesn't. I don't know what else to tell you. Like he doesn't, like he just doesn't pay for my stuff. Moving on to powder blush because there's no such thing as too much blush. I use Patrick Ta. This is in the shade She's Flushed. I'm pretty sure this is my second one that I've gone through. I like the powder, but I think I'm also gonna use the cream. I think it just looks less like you have makeup on and more just like pretty dewy. Another assumption that I get is that I'm an only child, and I'm not an only child. I'm not an only child. My sister and I are 14 months apart. Her name is Lauren and she's younger than me. She's blonde, she's amazing, and she's hilarious. I feel like for a long time we didn't get along. I feel like we've had a couple years where we really didn't get along, but now we're just like this. She actually doesn't live in Indiana anymore, but I'm gonna see her shortly because we're going to Vegas together. So what am I missing? What am I missing? Oh, highlighter. This is my Dior palette and it's actually broken. I've had it for like 2 years, but it's just too good. Like maybe I'll just get a new one, but oh, it's full, like it's full. Oh, another one that I got was that I was a huge partier in high school. I was not, literally quite the opposite. I really wasn't a partier in high school. I literally went home on the weekends and hung out with my family. Anytime I did something bad, the one time I hit a jewel, which was like, I don't know, freshman year of high school, came home, told my parents. Like I had such a guilty conscience, I still do, but anytime I did something, I would tell on myself. Like I was one of those kids. It's the oldest child in me, I think. Anytime people wanted to sneak out, I was like, I'm not going, I'm not, and no one would ask me to do anything bad and no one would invite me places because they knew I wouldn't do it. I was a little bit of a nerd, which I'm so glad I am. I'm so glad I didn't peak in high school, and that's a win. For lips today, I actually have a little bit of it on already, but it's the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. I literally use this almost every day. I just think that it stays on very well, and it's just the perfect pink. So I have that on, and then I went in with the new Kosas Lip Pulse, which is kind of supposed to make your lips tingle and feel bigger. This is in the shade Love Potion. Beautiful, beautiful, very natural. And this is literally what I do every single day. Your guys' assumptions about me are always just fun and juicy, and I feel like half of them are right and half of them are wrong. So I love the sit down style video. I haven't done one of these literally in years, and let me know if you guys like these because I feel like it's more chatty and I get to show you all the products that I'm loving and what I use every day. Let me know what you guys are loving and what you want to see from me next. I have a lot of trips coming up, so I really want to film those for you guys. And yes, I love being back on YouTube. It's so fun, and I love chatting with you guys long form. So I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, and let me know if you guys try any of these products out, because they're literally bomb and I use them every single day.